Hope everyone's doing good today. I'm just going to do a short video. Just uploaded a video for a 1989 LeBaron. So I'll give you a first look at it. Now what was happening is the top back edge of the fenders, all the clear coat was peeling off. Same with the trunk. And the same with that panel down here. Of course, down here he's going to have to touch that up or do something with that later. But so what we basically did, now it's pretty fresh, so I don't want to pull any dust out of any of the plastic. The only reason we pulled this off is what I did is I taped it right across the pinstripe line. Now color-wise, you can see it's pretty much a perfect match. There's a reason for that. We didn't paint that part of the car. We painted the top, and we just sort of feathered it down towards the line. And we went across and did a little bit of a drop coat, or an orientation coat. I don't know that we needed it with this particular paint. But then we just sort of stopped here, and then on the next coat, and we just sort of blended across it, just to, like, this paint's not spectacular like some of the metallics now, so you don't need to go too crazy. It's called Red Garnet Pearl. That said, yeah, not pearl like today. But look at that. The worst part of the car is now like the best looking part of the car, so we're happy with that. And the same thing with this side. This side needed a little more work, so we actually painted it to about here, and then the top, first coat, second coat, we came down, just sort of feathered it away. Then on the last coat I came a little heavier because we didn't want to get too much buildup where we didn't have to. And then here we kind of did our little bit of an orientation to just sort of blend it in. And again, we take the dust off here. The color's close enough. So with a nice wash and wax, this car's sitting outside, gonna look totally fine. The paint's not beautiful on this car. Our fan's blowing in this direction so I can show you. You can see the paint's not amazing, the old paint job. But it was probably painted like 20 some years ago, and I have a feeling it was so soft. I think it was the old, what they used to have was an acrylic base coat, which was fine, but then they had an acrylic enamel clear coat, not always urethane back then. And I remember when you'd sand on it, it'd be kind of like really, really soft, and that's what's on this car. So it is what it is, but it was pretty stable other than where it was bad. The top down here was probably the worst, but not the worst to look at, you couldn't tell. But yeah, he might have to come in here and just kind of take this coating. This is a plastic coating, and the black is in behind it. Because it used to be, it's like a fake chrome, and then they put this real thick plastic over it to make it shiny. So it is what it is. But it's not a car worth a ton of money, so you don't want to spend a fortune on this car. All we wanted to do was clean it up to make it presentable. It's a fun little car to drive around, and the guy has a lot of show cars and really nice Mopars. He picked this up years ago for whatever reason and kept it, and his daughter likes it. It is a convertible, 2.5 liter, 200 and change on it, just 222 I believe. It starts right up, runs like a top, everything works. It's an AC convertible car. It's kind of a nice car. So in their day, these were, probably competing with, well, this is, in the time of K cars, it was the only aerodynamic one for Dodge. So probably competed a little bit with, like, say, the Chevrolet Beretta. You could get these with 4 bangers, and then later I think they had 6-cylinder options. A lot of these had turbos too. So anyway, all we wanted to do is make it presentable. We usually just do muscle cars as such here. You could give it a buff, but honestly, we're not going to touch it. This is it. This is all we're spending. Once this is dried down for a couple more hours, I'll pull all the tape off, and this is ready to go. I gotta admit, for an old color, I do like it. It's very bright. But you can't really tell that by here. Now, one thing with the old acrylic enamel clears, like when you look down a car, it is shiny, but this is where the difference is. See, there's not really much reflection. There's some, but it's definitely not like this, right? So at any rate, looks good. I'm pleased. I know the owner's going to be very pleased. He was too worried it would look too nice. It does, but we're close enough. Just don't touch it, leave it alone. Don't buff it, don't do nothing. Wax the car, call it a day. There's a couple other little spots we're going to fix up. A couple little bubbles down here and on the door on the other side. There's a car show coming up, so we just did what had to look good now, and the other spots will blow in later. And the way you're repairing that, once we fix that, we just color the area, blend it in, seeing how this colors so well, and we'd actually clear coat that whole panel. And in the case of the door, we go under the molding and just paint the whole bottom of the door. So we'll do that at another date, probably in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Cheers.